and welcome to the first ever edition of The Rambling Writer. Now, this sort of rambling that I'll be doing is not the sort where you sort of trot down to the end of your driveway and back, which is most of the rambling I do actually these days, but it's really about wandering around in one's mind and talking about what the writer is like inside. Of course, you might not want to know this, but nevertheless, if you listen, you'll find out a few things. Mind you, you're not liable to pick up too many points on actual writing itself, although you may do, one never knows. But what I'm going to do is lift the curtain just a little bit so that you can see underneath what really goes on in here. So, the first little secret that we're going to reveal, that I am going to reveal today, is about the writer's fetish. Yes, we do have them. Yes, indeed we do. And this is what I'm going to tell you about right now. What fetish actually is in the dictionary. Not the sort where you're, laboring away under, well, never mind, we'll talk about that later. Fetish is, in one aspect, an inanimate object which is worshipped for its supposed magical powers, or because it is inhabited by a spirit. Okay, that sounds better, doesn't it? But it's still a little strange. Now, my fetish, and I think this fetish is shared by a lot of other writers, is the worship of really expensive and really lovely note paper and pads. Here's the one which is for the next wonderful chef-d'oeuvre. It's actually totally empty at the moment, so I can think about the masterpiece it's going to be and not have to worry about it not actually being a masterpiece. That's one. Now, they're not all quite that jazzy. Here's another one, filled with notes from something or other. And sometimes, of course, you can find these little gems, which are nice and jolly and not expensive at all, in the Dollarama. Wonderful place for this kind of thing. Or you might like something rather puffy like this. This one is filled with notes for Marlowe's Dance, my latest book. See how I slipped that in there? And you can all actually go and buy it online if you are so inclined. Anyway, so that is one little secret that I'm letting you in on about the writer's life. And actually, an interesting point, I think, is that the reason that I, and probably others writers, love this kind of thing so much is because making notes by hand is another way of thinking. It lets your imagination flow, literally, as your hand moves across the page. At least this is what I think, and it's actually been backed up by quite scientific people who are unlike me, who are not scientific at all. So I highly recommend, getting yourself one of these lovely books and making notes in it and watching how your mind opens up in a different way. Now, of course, it might be that I come from the age of the dinosaurs when we all wrote by hand all the time, in cursive, of course. So perhaps that's just part of that particular generation. I don't know. But I don't think it is. So I would recommend that you try the notebook method. There you see, there is a point for actual writing. Anyway, so that's about the end of my ramble for today, and we'll have another one later on. Of course, it'll be, I don't know when it will be, because they will just sort of appear when they appear, and hopefully they will be enjoyed. Anyway, so that's it for this ramble. I hope you enjoyed rambling with me on The Rambling Writer.